Virgo, what's going on with you? Come on in, have a seat, make yourself comfortable. My name's Alan Hill from UnknownTruthTarot.com. Welcome back to another Virgo love reading. Today we're going to take a look at the status of the love connection between you and your romantic person of interest. Keep in mind this is a timeless reading, so whether this is something you're going through currently or something from your recent past, you're watching this reading now because you're supposed to watch it now. So let's get on with this and let's get one card for what's the mutual point of interest between Virgo and their person of interest. Okay, we're taking two. Seems to be common this week. What's going on with you, Virgo? What's going on with Virgo as it relates to their person of interest? Okay. Be quick and painless. Awesome. What's going on with your person, Virgo? What's going on with Virgo's romantic person of interest as it relates to Virgo and the connection between them, please? Okay. On the bottom of the deck, the overall energy of this reading, the Magician. This is the master manifester of the tarot deck. This is a person whose thoughts and actions shape the world around them to be in alignment with what their will desires. He's got all four aces on the table in front of him, the aces of the four suits. He's got the opportunities. He's got all the tools, all the abilities and resources, everything he needs to create the world the way he wants it. This is usually an indicator that you or your other person here is actively manifesting something that they want. A lot of times I'll get this card because it's talking to me about the person whose thoughts and actions kind of shaped this whole situation I'm about to read about here. Below that Magician, we have the Queen of Swords. This is Libra energy. This is an energy of she who knows the truth. She's about discernment, being able to tell the difference between real and fake, between right and wrong, between good and bad. It's being able to tell the difference between things. This is also about speaking the truth on something, facing the truth on something, cutting off a thing or a person that isn't in your best interest anymore. And below that, I have the King of Cups. This is Scorpio energy. This could sometimes be classified as Pisces energy, depending on which worldview you come from in terms of tarot. But this is a person that you probably have a lot of love and emotions for. They probably have a lot of emotions for you. The King of Cups is someone, though, that doesn't really wear their heart on their sleeve. They don't publicly broadcast how they feel about things, good or bad. So this could be someone who is madly in love with you and you have no idea because they don't really express it. This could also be someone who's going through emotional turmoil of some kind and you have no idea because they don't really clue you in on that either. So that's the gist of what this is going to talk about here. We might come back to that more as we go along. This mutual point of interest is shared energy that affects both of you in some way. It doesn't always affect you the same way. Sometimes they do this and you feel the consequences, or vice versa. Sometimes they say or do something that makes you feel or act this way, or vice versa. But we got two cards instead of one. We got Page of Wands, Eight of Wands. A lot of passion, desire, fire energy here. Pages are messengers, so this would be news and messages and communicating about passion and desire. It can be passionate messages. This is someone who has the willingness to take the very first steps down a brand new path towards something there's a lot of passion and desire for. Also with that, I get another card that can be classified as a communications card, Eight of Wands. This can be rapid, back and forth, passionate communicating. So I've got two cards about passionate communications here in the shared energy. This is sometimes like rapid forward movement or progress on something that there's a lot of passion and desire for. This can indicate travel over distance. This can also indicate a lot happening all at once. Like too much is happening too fast. It's too much to process it. This can be like a really overwhelming feeling kind of an energy. Looking like we got some passionate messages here, though. Tell me what's going on with this Page of Wands, Eight of Wands, please. Why is that? Okay, that was quick. All right. Below the surface of this Page of Wands, Eight of Wands, Three of Cups. This is Cancer energy. This has got two distinct meanings. The first meaning is about being together, being united and celebrating, or even reunited and celebrating. The negative side of this card is it can represent 3 cups of love are in the picture here, as in like a third party thing is going on. That could be why we have all this willingness to take the first step on something passion related, a lot of communications about passion and desire. We could have some other person in the mix here already. Yeah, I think we do. I got the Magician right behind that. That is the overall energy of the reading here. Someone's thoughts and actions have created this situation where we have 3 people involved. Yeah, and then I have 2 of Swords right behind that. Libra energy. This is a decision that needs to be made, only it hasn't been made yet for some reason. Now, the person on the card's blindfolded, so that can represent that I don't have enough information available to me to make this decision yet, which is why I haven't decided. Sometimes that blindfold can represent blinders that someone has on. In other words, there's something here that I don't want to see. I don't want to look at that. I don't want that to be true. And avoiding it, being in denial about it, is preventing a decision from getting made. It could be either of those things. Hell, there's nothing saying that it can't be both of those things at the same time. This is shared energy affecting you both. So it could be a case of where your person's manifested another person into this connection through their thoughts and their actions, and they haven't made a decision on which one they want yet. Could also be that this has happened and there's this part of you that doesn't want that to be true and doesn't want to see that, which, I mean, who could blame you on that? But that is probably preventing you from making some sort of a decision here. Might be a decision to face the truth, speak the truth, cut off a person or a thing that isn't in your best interest anymore. Looks like it might be your person here. When I clarify this Page of Wands, 8 of Wands, I get the 2 of Cups, the Empress, and the Chariot. The 2 of Cups is Cancer energy. 2s are always choices. This is the second 2 I've seen now. This is it's a love connection between 2 people, but it's also a choice about this connection, or even a choice between 2 different cups, 2 different people. Central to the clarifiers here, I have the Empress, and she is the mother of the tarot deck. She's always pregnant. She's always giving birth to something. In a relationship reading, she represents the birth of something new. That's usually the birth of a new relationship, which is probably why we have a choice between 2 different people here. Probably why we've got the 3rd cup involved. Looks like your person has manifested that, as in like their thinking and their actions have kind of created that scenario. Final card here to clarify Page of Wands, 8 of Wands, is the Chariot. This is the Cancer Major Arcana card. This is the fastest moving energy in the deck. This 8 of Wands that's out here that I'm clarifying right now is the 2nd fastest moving energy in the deck. So we have a tremendous amount of speed happening here. Like I said, this is probably indicating that this happened out of left field. It happened all at once, or maybe you found out about it all at once and it's overwhelming. Now this card, this Chariot card, also is the underlying will to overcome the problems or the challenges or the obstacle that's in the way. It's about using just willpower alone to get past that and move forward very quickly in success and victory. So it could be that there is a choice about this connection and one of you wants to overcome the problem here. It looks like the problem is the birth of something new. The other thing the Chariot can represent is travel, but also someone just getting the hell out of Dodge really quickly, just hopping in the Chariot and getting gone here, which kind of feels like maybe what's happening with all this rapid movement here. Not uncommon at the beginning stage that I don't fully understand exactly what this is telling me yet, although it looks like I got a pretty decent handle on it so far, but I will still come back to this as I go through your energy, Virgo, because then I'll be able to see more clearly how that applies to you. I'll come back to it again when I go through your person's energy for the same reason. Your energy in this connection, Virgo, your first card is always the most important. You got the Lovers, central for your energy, Strength, and your final card is Judgment. So, excuse me, you got all major arcana energy over here. So this is powerful energy that's affecting you. We all have free will, but we have a lot more ability to exercise that free will over these minor arcana energies than we do these major arcana energies. This is usually powerful stuff. This Lovers card is the Gemini major arcana card. A long time ago, before this card was called the Lovers, it used to be called the Choice. So it's about the interconnectedness between people and how one person's decisions affect the other person and vice versa. There's no real way around that. When you're connected to somebody, their choices are going to impact you. This can represent a choice about this connection. It can even represent a choice between more than one lover. It is the major arcana version of this Two of Cups that we have out here in the shared energy. So that's twice now I've seen a choice either about the connection or a choice between two different connections. Tell me about the Lovers, please. Why is that the first card here for Virgo in this connection, please? Okay, it's going to make me say it even though I don't want to. So yeah, it sure as shit is going to make me say it. Good grief. Below the surface of this Lover's energy, we get the Hanged Man. This is Pisces energy. This is progress being halted, no forward movement happening, things being stuck. They're at a dead standstill. The Hanged Man is hanging upside down because he's trying to look at things from a different perspective than he normally would, a different point of view than he would normally look at things from. And he's doing that because he's trying to figure out what has me stuck and what do I need to make adjustments to in order to get unstuck so I can move forward the way I want to. The problem with this energy, it's very similar to the Hermit card, which is your major arcana card. It's similar in the sense that they're both really at their core about trying to figure out what do I do moving forward from here. The difference is in where they place their focus. The Hermit is looking inside of himself. He's internally focused. He's trying to figure out what adjustments do I make about me so I can move forward the way I want to. We got something jumping off on the floor here. The Hanged Man, he's externally focused. He's looking at things from a different point of view. He's looking outside of himself for what out here has this stuck. What out here do I need to make adjustments to? So this is having your focus on the external thing, probably on your person, probably on this other person that's shown up. It's looking at the circumstances and the people involved. Sometimes this can be playing the blame game. Sometimes this can be an energy of feeling like the helpless victim where it's not my fault this is happening, it's their fault, or it's this situation's fault, or it's this other chick's fault. It's something else that I'm not looking at me here. Now, it is an indicator that this connection is stuck and it's not going anywhere. Right behind that, I've got the Six of Cups. This is Scorpio energy of the past. It's thinking about the past, reminiscing about the past, the good old days, the way things used to be between the two of you. It can represent a deep emotional connection. It can represent that there's a lot of history between the two of you. The other thing that it can represent is something from the past coming back up again or happening again, or even someone from the past coming back into the picture. This could be we have a history of progress halting and things getting stuck. We could have been stuck for a long period of time at this point. We could have a history of a choice between more than one lover happening here, and that could be the thing that keeps hanging this up. Yeah, it's really going to make me say it. I have to address the twin flame thing as much as I don't want to, because I'm tired of giving credence to something that's not real to begin with. But every time I post a video, I get people leaving comments about, oh, but they're my twin flame. No, they're not. They're not your twin flame, because twin flames aren't real. Twin flames have never been real. The stuff was made up in the 1970s by a literal doomsday cult leader named Elizabeth Clare Prophet. So if you think this person's your twin flame, you need to stop watching that kind of shit. You need to stop looking into that kind of stuff, because none of it's real, and everyone telling you that it is has a vested financial interest in you believing it. I see a number of readers talking about the Six of Cups means that they're your soulmate, or they're your twin flame, or they're from some past life connection. That is absolute complete bullshit. So stop with that. That's not helping you. That's keeping you stuck. The reason I have to address the twin flames, not just that card, the Lover's card. This is the primary card that the twin flame nut jobs try to convince you this means twin flames, and it doesn't mean twin flames. It never has meant twin flames. Like I said, twin flames were invented. They were made up and fabricated in 1974 by a doomsday cult leader. The Rider-Waite Tarot deck was published in 1908, 60 some years before Twin Flames even got made up. So how in the world can the Lover's card be about Twin Flames if Twin Flames didn't even exist when the cards were created? So it's a bullshit story. Any reader that's telling you about Twin Flames, you need to stop watching them immediately. As a matter of fact, you're going to see a bunch of little graphics pop up at the bottom of the screen from my book, False Light. There is an epidemic of fake readers on YouTube right now. You might want to do yourself a favor and get that book. It's 309 pages. I'm giving it away completely free because I'm tired of watching people get hurt by all this bullshit that's all over YouTube right now. This Lover's card, when I clarify that, I get the Devil, the Lovers from the other deck, the Five of Swords, the Eight of Wands, and the Tower. I've got the Lovers in both decks that I'm using already. So that's telling me you have got way too much placed on this connection. You're giving it way too much power over you, especially when I've got the Devil here with it. Now, if you take a good look at these cards, those are the same two people on the Lovers card as on the Devil card. On the Devil, they have chains around their neck. They're trapped with the Devil. They're trapped in this toxic, distorted energy, which is exactly what Twin Flames is. It's something that keeps you focused externally on the other person and never looking inside yourself. That's the purpose of it. It's to disconnect you from yourself as a way to trap you, which is exactly why the Devil is coming out with this. And it's right between the Lovers and the Lovers from the other deck. The Devil is Capricorn's major arcana card. This is a heavy toxic energy. It's an energy of obsession, which Twin Flames is an obsession. It's an energy of addiction, feeling trapped by something, feeling like I can't escape from something. It's an energy of like, this has so much pull to it, I feel like I can't break free from it. But if you look at the people on the card, the chains around their neck are really just loops. They could take that loop right off of their head and leave anytime they want to. They just don't realize they can. They've been in this toxic, distorted energy for so long that they've grown horns and tails because it's changing who they are. It's distorting them in a fundamental way. This is telling me that there is some heavy-duty toxicity in this connection. And something else is running the show here. You're not in control of this. This is in control of you, which, again, the external focus is a problem here. Next, I have the Lovers again, which we've already gone over. This card is not Twin Flames. This card used to be called the Choice. So it's about the interconnectedness between people and how when you're chained to some person who has some toxic stuff about them, you're going to get that toxicity on you too. If you have bought into the Twin Flame narrative, you're trapping yourself by refusing to face the reality of it. I've actually written 3 books on Twin Flames. The first one is 860 plus pages long, and the other 2, when you add them together, it's over 600 more pages. So I've written literally 1,400 plus pages about Twin Flames. It's easy to blow this thing apart because it is so obviously not real, and it's like there's a paper trail that shows exactly where it came from. So please, if you're into the Twin Flame thing, look into that. Free yourself from this because you're just keeping yourself stuck by buying into that. You're in the process of creating this reality yourself through your thoughts and your actions here. That's why Queen of Swords is right below the surface, having the ability of discernment to be able to tell what's real and what's not real, to look at the truth and the facts instead of the fantasy that everyone pushes. This is about cutting away the thing that isn't serving you anymore. And that looks to be like how you feel about this person. Now, the other thing that this is looking like is we have something toxic in control of this connection. Toxic in control of the choice about this connection. Could even be something toxic here that your person can't escape from in terms of another lover. I did see everything is stuck because of this thing from the past happening. That could be a person from their past coming back that maybe they can't break free from. And now we've got ourselves in this spot where there's a choice between lovers, or a very serious choice about this connection. The next clarifier for the lovers is the Five of Swords. This is Aquarius energy. Fives are conflict and change. This is sometimes a big giant fight that ends things. Sometimes this is a betrayal. At its core, this card is a mentally and psychologically painful situation or event taking place. And again, Twin Flames is mentally and psychologically painful. It isolates you. It gets your focus strictly externally to yourself, and you're never looking internal. Like, I know you'll hear readers talk about this Lover's card and say, this is divine counterparts, divine connection. What they're not understanding when they tell you this is divine means God, the source, where we all came from. A divine connection is your soul's connection to the divine, not your soul's connection to another human being here on earth. Divine counterparts is the same thing. Your soul is one of those counterparts. The divine itself is the other counterpart. Divine feminine, divine masculine, that's not even the way the twin flame community uses those terms is not even what those terms mean. Those are universal energies, like positive and negative, light and dark. It's the same kind of a concept. It's not divine feminine equals you and divine masculine equals your boyfriend. That is not what that's about. And that's like just such a gross misunderstanding and oversimplification and twisting of it. It's a toxic distortion of what the divine terminology actually even means. And we've got this mental and psychological pain attached to it. This is looking like we have a situation where there's more than one lover involved, you and probably someone else that they have. Probably why I'm getting betrayal and mental and psychological pain with it. Next, I get the Eight of Wands, which is out here in the shared energy effect in both of you. Like, way too much happening, way too fast. Probably really, really overwhelming feeling. Hell, if you believe in the twin flame stuff, everything I just got done telling you about it is probably overwhelming feeling. And if you look in the description in the pinned comment, I'll put the link to my books in there about the twin flames for you, just in case that will help you. There's an overwhelming amount of evidence to the contrary of the twin flame thing. And if you read through my book, I promise you there's no possible way you can walk away from doing that and still believe in this bullshit, because it's that fundamentally flawed. Final card to clarify the lovers is the Tower. This is a game changer. This is a foundation rocking event. This is where everything comes crashing down and falls apart all around you. Now, sometimes the Tower can represent the collapse of this relationship. Everything happening really fast and it's all coming crashing down all around you, really overwhelming. Sometimes the Tower can represent the collapse of the belief system, the mental model of the world that you're operating from. And honestly, that's what needs to happen for you. This is card 16 of the major arcana. In numerology, you take double-digit numbers like 16, 1, and 6, and you add those together to get 7. That's the number of the divine. This is something collapsing in your life because it's not where you're supposed to be. This connection isn't where you're supposed to be. This toxicity isn't where you're supposed to be. This twin flame concept isn't where you're supposed to be. The betrayal, the pain, the overwhelm, none of this is what is meant for you. This Chariot, this is probably you wanting to overcome this because you have such strong feelings about what this connection means. That's another thing about twin flames. It kind of forces you to import this spiritual stuff onto a human connection between two flawed individuals. All of us are flawed. None of us are perfect. And trying to import all this divine terminology onto a connection is just, again, part of what's keeping you stuck and part of what you need to get the hell out of Dodge away from. That's the thing you really need to overcome. Central to your energy here, Virgo, is the Strength card. This is a Leo major arcana card. This card tells me you're going through something very difficult that's taken all of your internal strength to make it through. You have the strength to make it through. You're just being forced to dig down deep inside yourself and find that strength and tap into it and put it to use. Now, they can also represent someone trying to tame this beast inside themselves. In other words, you have this urge or this impulse or this desire or this maybe an unhealthy thing that you're aware isn't fully healthy here. And this is you trying to maybe rein that piece of yourself in and hold that piece of yourself back so you don't make some kind of a mistake. But clearly going through the shit right now. What's going on with the strength card, please? Why is the strength card essential here for Virgo? We're not taking a whole mess of these here. That's way too many. Don't need that many. Okay. Below the surface of strength, King of Cups. We just saw that card 3 cards deep in the overall energy. We've got someone's thoughts and actions creating the situation I'm reading about, discernment, speaking the truth, cutting something away that doesn't serve you anymore. And then there's that King of Cups, how you feel about this person. King of Cups is Scorpio energy. This is, like I said, that person that you probably have a lot of love and emotions for. They probably have love and emotions for you, but there's something that they are not letting out. They're not telling you. They're keeping their emotions hidden about something. I also get this card quite a bit of the time when the person I'm reading for keeps putting the other person on a pedestal, and they're letting their feelings about that person and the potential that they saw in that person kind of classify them as a king, and when they're not really anything more than a page. It's like giving the person too much credit. Yeah, I've got 8 of Swords. You're stuck in your head. This is Gemini energy, stuck in my head, grinding in circles, thinking about it over and over and over again on this repeating loop about this person and how I feel about them and what the meaning of this is. This is about not wanting to, like, the person's blindfolded. So I don't have all of the facts here. There's pieces that I don't see yet, pieces that I don't know yet. And I don't know what to do, and I don't want to step in the wrong spot and make some kind of a mistake. So now I've got 2 cards here about you not wanting to make a mistake and do the wrong thing. And this is feeling stuck and trapped and blocked and overthinking and getting stuck in the mental loop. And that's bringing me back to the Devil card because of the loops around their head. They're stuck. This is obsessively grinding on something. They're stuck because they don't realize their head is in the loop. They don't realize they could take the loop off of their head and free themselves. They don't realize they can stop thinking about something. The way that they are thinking about it is actually what's keeping them stuck. Yeah, and then I've got this period of time. The 7 of Pentacles behind that is Taurus energy. This is a period of time either where you pause to reflect and take stock of this connection and take stock of this whole situation you're finding yourself in. And it's about trying to decide if these 7 seeds we've planted together are ever going to grow into the 10 of Pentacles that I really want, where we combine our lives together, where it's maximum stability and abundance and prosperity. Is it ever going to turn into that? Or is this a spot where maybe I should just cut my losses and move on because it's never going to pan out that way? And this is being stuck in that loop. This is a definite period of time. When I clarify strength, I get the 3 of Swords, the 10 of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. 3 of Swords is Libra energy. Swords are thought energy, and you can see the thoughts are piercing the heart here. This again is the way that I'm thinking about something is causing heartbreak and sadness. Now, this card also can indicate heartbreak and sadness from a 3rd energy. Now, the 3rd energy is not always a romantic third party, although I have a number of references to someone else is involved besides just you and this person. So it's totally possible it can be a romantic third party, and it could be totally possible that you're trying to rein that piece of yourself in. I did see 2 of Swords earlier where there's something here I don't want to see. I don't want to look at it. That 3rd energy, though, doesn't have to be a romantic third party. It could be any number of things. Anything that's not directly you, that's not directly your person, can be that 3rd energy. Working too much can be the 3rd energy. Partying too much can be the 3rd energy. This whole twin flame narrative bullshit that keeps popping up at me over and over again could be that 3rd energy. But there's something external to you that is causing some sort of a heartbreaking thing. Entirely possible that the way that you're thinking about this situation is hurting you. It is sitting right beside the devil here, which is a control energy. But this isn't about you being in control. It's about something else having control. And you don't really feel like you have any say in the matter, even though you could just take your head out of the loop and leave anytime you want. So whether you realize that or not is the other thing. Next, we have the 10 of Pentacles. This is Virgo energy. This is, like I said, maximum stability, abundance, prosperity. It's the combining together of two people or two families and all their assets and resources to build that stable life together that we all want. This is most people's goal in physical reality. And you've got heartbreak and sadness from a third energy tied to that in yours. You've also got that tied to the lovers here, where you're in a situation where their thoughts and actions are influencing this combined together life. There's a choice about this connection in this combined together life. A lot of times I get the Lovers card like this with the devil, and okay, there it is twice with the devil right between it. That's looking at the connection for something different than what it actually is, which is why I've got the devil tied to it. Is why I've got 5 of Swords tied to it. Mentally, psychologically painful. Final clarifier for strength is the King of Swords. This is Aquarius energy. This is a very smart, logical, rational, decision-making kind of an energy. It's someone, though, that when they make their decisions, they throw their emotions right out the window. I've got King of Cups sitting here on the bottom. These are opposites of each other. They're kind of counterbalances of each other. The King of Cups will make decisions based on how he feels. The King of Swords will throw those feelings right out the damn window and make decisions based on the truth and the facts. What can I see in front of me? What can I verify? What do I know to be true? And I'm going to decide based on that and that alone. This is usually logic and reason and common sense trying to talk to you about the pain that you're feeling here. This could also be an indicator that your person is kind of cold and calculated and making decisions based on themselves and not how anyone feels about it. This 5 of Swords can be winning at all costs mentality. When I've got both of these together, that's a pretty bad sign of who you're dealing with. Now, I read these in columns and then I connect it in rows as I go down. And so far, we've got these 2 cards in the first column that have nothing to connect with it. This very fast, rapid back and forth, passionate communications or forward movement or progress, or just this everything is happening too fast and it's overwhelming, which is connected to the collapse of everything. This is feeling like an ending that for you probably came out of left field, like didn't see this coming and probably overwhelmed by it. Final card for you, Virgo, we have Judgment. This is the most powerful decision card in the deck. This is about passing a final verdict in judgment on something, making a final decision. In a relationship reading, this is either A, this thing is dead and over with and there is no coming back, or B, this is about resurrecting it, trying to bring it back to life, trying to call it back from the grave. So tell me about this Judgment card, please. Why is that final card here for Virgo? I apologize about the twin flame stuff, especially if you're not into that to begin with. I know I got a nice mix in my audience here. Most of you are completely in agreement with me and thought all on your own that this sounds like complete and utter bullshit. But I do have quite a few people that are just desperate for the twin flame thing to be true because they want it to be true and they need it to be true because they need to give some sort of a spiritual meaning to how they feel because they can't explain it. But I have to poke holes in that every time it comes up. It's like it won't let me not do that. When I look at what's below the surface of this Judgment card, I get that 7 of Pentacles again. A period of time has gone by here where you're either contemplating, is this over or can we resurrect it? Or should I even continue investing my time, effort, and energy into this? Or should I cut my losses and move on and call it dead and over with? King of Cups in the background, there's your feelings for this person influencing what you do. It's bringing me back to King of Swords. This is probably advice for you to toss these feelings out the window and look at the cold, hard facts in front of you, which is why you should read my book, because it is full of absolutely nothing but cold, hard, documented, easily verifiable facts that will prove to you exactly where this idea came from and why it's not even real. And not just that, but how dangerous and psychologically and emotionally damaging it is. When I clarify judgment, I get the Queen of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and the Two of Wands. So we started the reading out with two wand energies as the shared energy: passion, desire, sexual energy. And then I get, as your final clarifier about judgment, or the final card about judgment, all three clarifiers: wand, passion, desire, sexual energy. This Queen of Wands, this is Aries or Leo energy. This is a bold, passionate, fiery, determined person who knows exactly what she wants, and she typically will not take no for an answer. This is 9 times out of 10, especially since you are an earth sign. I would expect to see Queen of Pentacles for you, and instead I'm getting Queen of Wands. This 9 times out of 10 is the other woman. It's the fire element queen. In other words, the hot queen, the one there's attraction, passion, desire, sexual energy toward. It's sitting directly beside 3 of Swords, heartbreak and sadness from a third energy. That's something you're struggling with. And it's also in the same row with the Devil, the toxic thing that actually has control of this. Now, I don't like saying that because this lady does not have control over you. This thing that has control over you only has control over you that you willingly give to it by refusing to face it and deal with it. At the very beginning, when I saw the Hanged Man on the bottom of the deck, I said that's externally focused. That would be being focused on her, like she's the actual problem. She's not the actual problem. There's 2 people in this relationship. They're part of the problem, and whatever this massive amount of belief you have superimposed on top of the reality of this connection is part of the problem that's controlling you. And until you face that and deal with that, you're never gonna be right. Next card to clarify judgment is the Knight of Wands. This often gets called the player of the tarot deck. It can be that person who comes rushing in all passionately and tells you everything you want to hear in order to get what they want. And then once they get it, they rush off all passionately somewhere else and tell that person everything they want to hear to get what they want there. And then they bebop back and forth playing both people. This, at its minimum, can be someone who is like very non-committal in the sense that at first they say what they want and they seem really gung-ho and motivated by it, and they're taking the right actions and saying the right things, and then suddenly there's an about face and they rush off a whole different direction going for something entirely different. I've got that kind of an energy sitting here with the choice between lovers in the row and this idea of building a life together, combining lives together, and this is real flip-floppy, wishy-washy, in and out, back and forth, can't stay fully committed kind of an energy here. The final clarifier for judgment is the Two of Wands. This is Aries energy. 2s are choices. This is a fork in the road. It's a crossroads in this connection. It's probably a crossroads in your life. It's a decision point about what is it I really want my life to be like, and which of these 2 paths is going to get me to that. But you can't turn left and right at the same time. So it's not just which path am I going to go down, but also which path am I going to leave behind me. This is a choice about passion and desire. In the shared energy, I've got the birth of something new and a choice either about this connection or between 2 different people. I've got the other person right here with this Queen of Wands and your person flip-flopping back and forth. There is a choice that needs made about what they want, but again, that's putting the power external to you. You need the power to be back inside yourself. You need to stand back in your own power, collect your power back. So this is a choice for you about what do you want your life to be like. It's telling you very specifically that you have a mentally and psychologically painful situation in front of you right now, probably full of betrayal, probably full of this person having to win no matter what, and collateral damage is fine to them. If you get hurt, well, that's your problem as long as they get what they want. That's probably what you're dealing with. Very cold, calculated, cunning kind of a person that's in it for themselves. But this is telling you to choose the path of logic and reason and common sense, and not the path of that King of Cups that we saw a minute ago. Like, but my feelings for them. This is saying throw those fucking feelings out the window and look at the reality in front of you, and not the dream scenario that you have in your mind, not the fantasy that you have in your mind. Like, it's very clear that there is a fantasy for you here. When I've got the lovers, and right smack in the middle of them is the devil, and the very next card is mental and psychological pain. Very clear that this isn't being looked at for the reality that it is. It's being looked at for the potential that I see in it, or what I want it to be, or what I hope it could be. It's not looking at the facts. And I'm sorry if any of that is offensive to you or feels bad when you hear me say it, because that is certainly not my intention. My intention is to get you the truth and the facts so you can make real decisions that are in your own best interest for your own greatest good, and not stay stuck in some fantasy land about twin flames, or just how powerful this connection is, or they're my soulmate, or whatever bullshit spiritual label is being placed on this clearly toxic connection. When I look at your other person over here, Virgo, the very first card for them is the most important. We get the Hanged Man. Central for their energy is the Knight of Cups. And their final card is the Eight of Swords. We saw the Hanged Man right toward the beginning, that external focus. This is Pisces energy of progress is halted. There is no forward movement. Things are completely stuck. It ain't going anywhere. Again, though, Hanged Man is hanging upside down because he's looking at things from a different perspective. He's focused on things. What out here has this stuck? What out here has this not moving? This is someone playing the blame game, or the role of the helpless victim. This isn't my fault that this has happened. It's your fault, Virgo. This is blaming you, blaming her for walking by looking all good and shit. And had she not done that, well, then I wouldn't have run chasing after her, following my wand. It's any number of things, but it's not them. That's from their point of view. Tell me about this Hanged Man, please. What's going on with this Hanged Man? Why is that the first card? Virgo's person. Well, below the surface of that stuck energy, Knight of Swords. So there's the third fastest energy in the deck. In this shared energy, I've got the fastest energy with the Chariot, the second fastest with that Eight of Wands, and now here we are with this Knight of Swords. Fastest knight in the deck. Hell, I've got the fourth fastest energy out here too, because next below this is this Knight of Wands. So we have a very intense... Hell, I've got the Eight of Wands from the other deck out here. So we have an intense amount of speed happening here. Like I said, felt like at the beginning something coming out of left field, like something happening way too fast, way too much happening all at once. This is someone who rushes forward and makes this decisive action on something. It's almost always something that they didn't think through all the way first. This is usually spur of the moment, spontaneous, impulsive, reckless decision-making kind of an energy. This is the person who just rushes off and does it, and they don't bother to think about it until after it's too late. Then I get the Ten of Wands. Sagittarius energy. This is a heavy burden that's being carried. It's something weighing you down, something that's holding you back. It's part of the thing that has you stuck. It's probably because their reckless decision making creates burdens for you. This is a 10, and in tarot, 10s are completion. So this is supposed to be the completion of carrying this burden. It's supposed to be the spot where you lay this burden down and move on without it. It's just going to require you to make some sort of a choice here with logic and reason, and not not feelings. When I clarify the Hanged Man, come here, I get this Ace of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, the Fool, and the World. The Ace of Pentacles is a new physical opportunity presenting itself to your person. This is a physical opportunity. It's not an idea or a concept. It's a thing that I can touch. It's sitting directly across the aisle in the same row as this hot queen, this person that I have all this passion and desire for. It's how we get to the third energy being involved. This is them having a physical opportunity presenting itself. And that could be the external thing that they're blaming it on. It could be the external thing, like I was just waiting on this other opportunity to show up so I could do something. But either way, I got this Page of Swords with that. This is someone who's trying to learn something or trying to figure something out. This can be spying, snooping around, investigating, researching, asking questions, digging for answers. Hell, technically what I'm doing right now by reading tarot and looking into your all's energy qualifies as the Page of Swords. This is about either uncovering information or trying to uncover information or accidentally uncovering information. Could be someone saw them with this opportunity. Someone external to the both of you could have seen this. It's in that same row with the Lovers and this Knight of Wands. So I don't know if this is them spying on you or you accidentally uncovering information about them having some new opportunity. But then I get the Fool. This is the very first card of the major arcana, the first card of the whole tarot deck. This is a new beginning at something where I don't necessarily know exactly how it's going to work out or what the steps even are. This is about just saying, you know what, screw it. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to leap off this cliff and I will figure out how to grow wings on my way down. This is just going for it and figuring it out as I go. This can also represent foolish behavior, foolish decision making, taking unnecessary risks, or even risks outside of the connection. In that same row, I've got Five of Swords over here, betrayal. I've got this cold, calculated decision maker here, making a choice based purely on desire, tied right there to all this Queen of Wands. Got a lot of passion, desire, attraction toward her, player energy. Screw it, let's just go for it. I've even got that Knight of Swords on the bottom. So like, this is very reckless decision making here. Final card to clarify the Hanged Man is the World. We just looked at the very first card of the major arcana. Now we've got the very last card of the major arcana. This represents a completed cycle between the two of you, from beginning all the way to the end. This is the full shebang. This is supposed to be the spot where this is finally over and you can lay the burden of this connection down, the burden of this person down, the burden of the things that they create in your life for you. Like, you've got, you know the truth about them. It's just your feelings are getting in the way. Your feelings are stopping the world, the ending from happening. Damn. Six of Cups is back here too, below this burden. There's a history of them burdening you. Man. Central for your person's energy, Virgo, we get Knight of Cups. This is an action taker. Cups are about love and emotions. This is actions toward love and emotions, moving forward with romantic offers, romantic gestures, trying to advance a cup of love in some way here. I do have the birth of something new in the shared energy, person who has the willingness to take the first step down a new path, a lot of passionate communication, and a choice between you and some other person. Why is the Knight of Cups central for Virgo's person, please? Okay, there's a lot going on below the surface, like all these cards trying to get away all at once usually means there's way a lot under the surface here. Below the surface of this Knight of Cups, I get the King of Cups again. So there's their emotions, probably how you feel about them, how they feel about you. They're full of emotions. It's just a matter of where are they expressing those emotions. I've got them having the willingness to go down a new path, which means that this is them, come here, communicating with someone that's not you, which is why we're birthing something new. Yeah, behind that King of Cups, there's how you feel about them and the credit that you're giving to them based on your feelings. And right behind it is King of Wands. This is Leo energy, bold, passionate, fiery, determined person, very driven, very motivated, very ambitious, doesn't take no for an answer. They go after what they want, and they're either going to find a way to get it or they're going to make a way to get it. It's also the top tier of that wand suit. And the wand is the phallic symbol of the deck. It's passion, desire, sexual energy. Very driven and motivated by that. And it's the counterpart to this Queen of Wands that shows up over here as this third energy that's involved. So they're the passion, desire end of, the counterparts. I think you got a different... You're giving your person more credit than they're worth. You're allowing your feelings and the potential that you see in them to mask who they really are. When I clarify this Knight of Cups, I get strength, the Two of Swords, and the Three of Wands. Strength, we've already seen that. It's your central energy. I don't think this is them going through something difficult nearly as much as I think this is them trying to tame this beast inside themselves. They have urges and desires and impulses that they know are a mistake, and this is a piece of them trying to contain that so they don't make a mistake in terms of this moving forward romantically, in terms of this new physical opportunity that's shown up in front of them. I think this is them trying to contain that piece of themselves. But if you look at the picture, that's a little lady in a white gown trying to hold back a lion. Do you really think that lady can overpower the lion? No. If that lion wants to go rushing off and do whatever the hell it wants, she ain't going to be able to stop it. And if she tries, it will just maul her. It's in the same row as the devil. This is the thing that's actually running the show. And your person isn't in control of that. I think what your person is being controlled by is the wand and their passion and their desire. And the moment you put this bright, shiny new toy in front of me, this hot queen in front of me, I'm putty, and I just got to go do it. Excuse me. Next clarifier for this Knight of Cups is the Two of Swords, Libra energy of a decision that needs made and has not been made at this point. Normally this goes chronological, as in like this first column is something that's already happened, and the closer I get to the final column is more and more current energy. So at this stage, there was a choice that they had to make, and they didn't make it. I don't know if they're still trying to figure out what choice to make, as in like, which one do I want? Or maybe they're in denial about something here. Maybe there's something that they don't want to be true. I got the choice not being made by the player who comes in to you and then goes back to them and then goes back to you, and they run back and forth here. It looks like you guys already have combined together lives at whatever stage this is happening at. But there is definitely a choice between two lovers here and a betrayal connected to that. This is probably, at this stage, you're the one that's blindfolded. At this stage, you probably didn't know that there was another person involved. And if you don't know, why in the hell do I have to make a choice? I can just keep collecting benefits from you and from her. That is, until someone figures it out, until someone discovers what's really going on. And then I'll have to make a choice. Until then, I'm just going to wait. Three of Wands, Aries energy of waiting. This is where I already know what I want. It's the step right after this Two of Wands over here. I already know what I want. I've already made that decision. I've already started taking steps down the brand new path. And I'm taking actions trying to get this thing that I want. And I fully believe the thing that I want's going to happen. I've already taken the blind leap of faith on it. Only it hasn't happened yet, and I'm still waiting on it to happen. I think the thing they're waiting on is to make the decision. And when they do make the decision, it's going to be between you and this new person. And it looks like they're splitting and getting the hell out of Dodge, which is probably why all this is coming out of nowhere for you and everything comes crashing down. And this collapse of the belief system but I thought they were the one. I thought they were my twin flame or my soulmate, or well, maybe we'll just have to do this in the next life. Like, look at the truth and the facts. Final card here is the Eight of Swords, Gemini energy. We already saw that in the below the surface at some point. This is thinking about something over and over and over again on this repeating loop and not having all the data and feeling stuck and trapped and blocked because I don't know what to do and I don't want to do the wrong thing and make a mistake, and I'm stuck in the mental loop. Why is this Eight of Swords here? The final card for Virgo's person, please. Got one flip right side up in here I got to dig out. Okay. Wow, what's going on with this Eight of Swords? Let's get one more, please. Thank you. Below the surface of the Eight of Swords, Five of Cups, Scorpio energy. This is sadness and remorse about the past. It can be regrets. It can be an emotional loss of some kind. The person is looking at these three cups that have been spilled, and that represents the togetherness being spilled, as in, we're losing this. It can also represent the third party has shown up. Three cups of love are there, and that's what spilled everything. I definitely have third party energy here. Betrayal, choice between lovers two different ways, hot queen, player. It's very obvious there's another person. These two upright cups in the background can represent that they still do have some feelings here, and that could be why they're focused on the loss of this connection. But those two cups in the background could just as easily represent there's another connection looming in the background because they birthed a new one. Yeah, I got King of Cups back there. There's the emotions that they have that they're not expressing. This is probably also your feelings for them. Like, you have the loss as well, and your feelings for them are probably keeping you from walking away. But their feelings are not stopping them from walking away. Eight of Cups is Pisces energy of emotionally detaching and physically detaching and walking away. Most of the time I get this on this side of the table because this person thinks there's something better out there for them. They think the grass is greener on the other side of the fence, and damn it, they're going to go find out if it is or not. Now, if it's not and it doesn't pan out the way they wanted to, they're highly likely to try to come back, which do not stay stuck on that. That's why we had the Hanged Man for you. You're stuck on the external thing. Hell, even it's their very first card. They are the thing that you're stuck on. Waiting on them keeps you stuck. It's in essence giving your power away, which keeps you stuck in the loop, which keeps your head stuck in the loop. This connection only has the power over you that you give to it by refusing to face the truth and the facts, by allowing the fantasy and the potential and the way that you feel about them to get in the way. When I clarify this Eight of Swords, I get Death, the Knight of Cups, and the Nine of Wands. Death is the Scorpio Major Arcana card. This is something dying. This is an ending that has some painful transformation process attached to it, or some painful transition period following the ending. They're stuck in their head about ending it because I've got a new opportunity that I'm trying to rein myself in from, trying to contain that piece of myself. Next, I've got the Knight of Cups again, which was their central energy here. So I've got it in both decks. The action taker, that's about moving forward romantically. Romantic forward movement, trying to advance a cup of love. Notice I'm stuck in my head about ending one thing so I can move forward with the other thing. And that choice is tied right to it. It just hasn't been made yet. Probably because you haven't figured it out yet. And I need to wait until that happens. I want to take this blind leap of faith, but I need to wait. And then I get the Nine of Wands, Sagittarius energy. This is walled off defensive energy. This is This is also a healing energy. This is the wounded warrior, and he's been hurt, hence the wall he's built around himself. It's a defense mechanism. It's his way of trying to protect himself so he doesn't get hurt. Waiting is his way of trying to protect himself. It can also represent a barrier is in the way between the two of you. And that barrier is that he's moving forward romantically somewhere else. He's already made a decision to do something here. He just has to wait to pull it off. The one card on their side that has nothing to connect with it is this final card of the major arcana, the world. The the ending of one cycle, and at the same time the beginning of the next cycle, where we start over at the Fool on something brand new. This person is skedaddling. They're getting the hell out of Dodge. They have already birthed a new connection. They've made their choice about the connection. I just don't think this middle stage, they had actually acted on that decision yet. But here, if they haven't acted on it yet, they're grinding on it really hard. And they have definitely put barrier in the way. And this is looking like you've probably found out about it, because we've got too much happening. Way too much happening, way too fast. It's overwhelming, and there's the collapse of the relationship, and probably the collapse of what you believed this relationship was going to be.